I expect, a lot of that to go on this campaign. I've told people have said to me too, when you go to Washington, a lot of good people are elected from North Dakota, but after they've been out there a while, they kind of forget where they're elected from and who they represent. And so people have said, we want to make sure that, you don't forget where you're from. And so I guess that's why I wanted to be in Washburn. So you guys here is where we'll probably spend a lot of time, Tracy and I, make sure that, I don't lose sight of where we're from and what's important in North Dakota.
Rick, I think it's just the disillusionment of our senators and representatives that it's not that we try to hold respect for the office, that they're representing us, the people, and no matter how many times you call their offices, they're very, very polite, very gracious, it isn't that, but they just don't get it. They just don't get it. And something's got to give here pretty soon. And I think it's going to show up in November.
What frustrates you most about what's come out of Washington? The health care or the deficit spending?
Well, health care is a big deal to me. I'm going to be 65 in January, obviously. We pay through the nose with our local pharmacies, and that because we want to stay local. We want to support small business in North Dakota. And that, but it is difficult, but them saying that you're not for Social Security, privatizing it, we know that's not true. And that. And so they've got to listen to us.
Right.
Yeah. Well, this health care issue now, the bill is passed, and we don't know what the bill is. I guess it's still right.
They don't know what the bill is.
Still trying to figure it out, yeah.
Okay.
They don't know what it is.
But to change that now, to repeal it, would take a huge majority. And even if there's a big swap right now in the House and Senate, there's not going to be a huge majority.
Right.
So we can look at probably the best for the next few years as just a stalemate, can't we? I mean, it's not going to be much.
Well, there's a couple things that people are talking about. One is they're saying if the Republicans take majority of the House of Representatives, they cannot fund components of that bill that are real onerous. There's 100,000 new federal employees, there's like 16,000 new IRS agents, and so if they don't fund those, that kind of puts it on hold. Obviously, there's parts of that that we need to address, but that puts it on hold. Then the problem, as you say, is if you had a Republican majority in the House and Senate and they voted to repeal it, obviously the president would veto that. And so there's not the 2/3 vote to override that veto. But what I see happening, of course, is stopping it, as you say, and then having an alternative. Maybe after the election, the president may see things different. Not sure, but there's a potential if there's a change in the Senate and the House. But then, as the next thing would be 2 years from now. Again, that presidential race would be up. So it could be a 4-year deal to get that, or 2 more years to get that turned around.
Well, what is this health care thing? I mean, what are they supposed to be doing to help us? I'm sorry.
Health care for all.
Yeah, I know, but we got health insurance and we got Medicare, and my husband still got a bill for $15.07. Now the Medicare and that, he claims he's not going to pay it.
No, it's part of the problem is things aren't. And that bill was passed nationally, and healthcare in North Dakota is not that bad. We can prove it, but it's not broke in North Dakota like it is in other parts. And so, again, part of the problem is we're facing the brunt of what, again, they're doing countrywide, and that's why I disagree with that.
I don't think anybody knows what's in it.
Well, yeah, that's coming out.
Did you see on TV or Max Bacchus, when they made this bill? They asked him, have you read it? And he says, what, you expect me to read this thing? We got professionals that do this.
Do the reading?
Yeah, or do the bill. He doesn't even know what's in the bill either. And he said, you expect me to read this thing?
He was a sponsor.
Yeah, he's a sponsor, co-sponsor of the bill. And he stood right there in a meeting and said, you expect me to read this thing?
It's how many pages long is it?
How many pages long is it?
About 3,000.
Yeah.
Why does it have to read 3,000 pages? I mean, I can walk